Hello, KMMA tribe, friends, family, students. Welcome back. I am honored and privileged to be here today with the great Sensei John Warwick. He is the program director at Krav Maga Martial Arts. Sensei John, that's a little intro for yourself, but if you want to say anything, you want to tell anybody, you want to tell the students anything else about yourself before I get real specific with questions for you?
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me here today, Grandmaster. Yes, again, my name is Sensei John. I am 42 years old, have been married for 15 years, have an amazing 11-year-old black belt son who just got his probationary black belt in September. I used to work in computers and marketing for a long time, but just recently switched career paths because I wanted to be able to make more of a difference in the world, and I wanted to be able to sow into the youth and just to be able to feel like I'm making an impact on the world. So that's why I've switched careers, and I am here ready to make an impact.
And we are so grateful and excited for that because you are certainly already doing that and doing a great job. And for one, am grateful to have you on Team KMMA. And I think, this isn't the next question. I do this, but, because you said that, it's like, that's so important, right? Like, Thoreau said that men are living lives of quiet, most men are living lives of quiet desperation. And I think that's part of it, is not actually fulfilling your purpose and passion in the world. I remember our first conversation when you came to me as a white belt, at least with me, because you had already had another black belt when you were younger. And I also remember the second one where we talked about how you always felt like you would coach something.
Mm-hmm.
And, and then it all came together because here you are. But that, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to that though, but that feeling of like, here you were very successful. You made a lot of money and you're a successful person. But decided that I'd love to hear a little bit more about where you were at that led you to make that switch.
Well, and like you said, I was making a good living in my marketing career. I worked really, really hard at getting to the point where I was at, and all of that hard work did pay off. But I had got to the point where I had realized that career was going to be the rest of my life if I stuck with it. And while I was making good money, while I was able to support my family and everything like that, I didn't feel like I feel like God had put me here for a different reason. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't to sit behind a computer for 12 hours a day and stare at coding and to continue to get less and less healthy each day by not moving and eating bad and everything like that. I needed a change. And I'm just thankful for the opportunity that it came a lot sooner than I had planned. My goal was to work in my career until maybe towards the very end of it, and then hopefully to already have my second degree black belt by then, and to come in and maybe do some kind of teaching as a sensei part-time, or just at special events or little things like that. I thought that was going to be my way of helping to sow into people, but then the opportunity came about here. And I sat and prayed about it and talked with my wife about it and stuff. And we both realized that this was exactly what I was wanting to do. Like you said about coaching, I always thought that I would be a baseball coach or a hockey coach or something like that. I didn't think I ever had the experience to be able to be a martial arts, professional, let alone this early. I thought maybe later in my career, when I was in my 50s or something, I could do that. But I didn't realize that the opportunity was going to present itself a lot sooner than it did. And I would have been crazy to not jump at the opportunity to help the youth out like I want to.
God is great, and it's great for both of us that He put us together. So I'm going to skip a couple because you already started to talk about one of them. So I'm going to skip to, what are some of the biggest benefits you've gained through your training at KMMA?
Okay, so there's a lot of them. Well, the biggest benefit easily is I'm healthier now than I've ever been. When I started training here, I was 50 or 60 pounds, heavier than I am now. All of my joints hurt, my back hurt from sitting at a computer all day. And I had got to the point where I thought, okay, as a almost 40-year-old man, I guess that's just how life was going to be. And I accepted that I was going to have to wake up every day with these pains, and I was going to wake up overweight, and regardless how bad I ate, or regardless how hard I trained or worked out, that's just how my life was going to be. But training here has let me realize that I don't have to settle for that. I can be better than I want it to be. I can be better than I thought I could be. And that's one of the biggest things that my black belt test, to jump a little ahead to my black belt test, that's one of the biggest lessons. It's one of the biggest things I've learned in my entire life. That black belt test, I went into it feeling confident that I knew the material, feeling confident that my cardio had gotten good enough. But when I had got there, I was able to perform so much better than I thought that I could. And it was an absolute blessing to have realized once I had finished that testing that I am so much more capable than I give myself credit for. And that's one of my biggest lessons that I've learned.
That's outstanding and awesome. Because you mentioned the physical fitness, but then, of course, talking about confidence there and empowerment and all, that's awesome. But, you're also a father of a probationary black belt. So how about as a father? Or you can answer it either way. Like, what benefits have you seen in Madden, or what benefits as a father?
So I'll answer both of those. One of the biggest benefits I've ever seen in my son through training is his confidence grow here. When for our black belt test, he ran right up and gave his speech. I was more nervous than he was to give his speech. And at 10 years old, I never would have seen him running up and giving a speech like that. And I was so incredibly proud of him. But the way that he loves to come and do CIT and help people here, it doesn't matter if he's in the dojo or at home, he's still constantly using the magical language of respect, still calling us yes sir, yes ma'am, so much more respectful than any of his friends that I know. And he treats others like he wants to be treated. And that's one of the biggest things that I wanted him to learn from martial arts and to be engraved in him. And I'm so thankful that has been engraved in him. Because I don't even have to push him anymore about yes sir. I don't have to do that anymore. He always is still saying yes sir.
I bet you other people notice that too.
Everybody notices, his teachers, everything. But as a father, one of the biggest benefits from training here, and we talked about this a little while ago, was when he was younger, I started to realize that I was disciplining him in ways that my father had disciplined me. I had grown up with my father being real tough on me about, being a perfectionist, especially when it came to sports. I could do 99 things great in a game, but if there was one thing I messed up on, that was the one thing that he would harp on and drill on me about. And it hurt me, during those times. But to his defense, that's how he grew up. That's how his father grew up. That's how he knew how to teach. And I knew that it was all out of love. And my father is my biggest, inspiration in my life. But growing up, I knew that I didn't want to make my son feel the way that made me feel. So one of the first lessons that we learned here, especially in CIT, was praise, correction, praise. Being able to use that method of praising my son, being able to give him a correction, and then giving him more praise. I'm able to let him know what he's not doing correct, but also not crushing his confidence and making him feel good in the process. That technique has been one of the biggest things as a father that I've learned here for sure.
That's awesome. It's awesome. What advice would you give to a beginning student, somebody just getting started out now as a black belt?
Two things. One, it's never too late to start. Like I said, when I joined, I accepted the fact that I was going to be 40, that I was having issues, and that's just how my life was going to be. I thought that I was always going to continue to have these pains, and I don't have them anymore. So I would always tell people it is never, ever too late to start training. And the second thing is, if you do start training, you're going to be so excited when you start training. You're going to see all of the benefits, but you will come to a point where you'll start doubting yourself and you'll start thinking, maybe I'm not in as good a shape, or maybe I don't think I can do this. But I promise you can. It's not just me who's felt this way. I think it's every other adult that's ever started training here at KMMA has felt like, I'm excited to do this. And then, I don't know if I can do this. Everybody has that doubt, but as long as you don't ever quit, you will absolutely push yourself through. And again, you are more capable than what you give yourself credit for.
That's awesome. 2 claps. Love it. Love it. So we just started the new year. Share with the audience one or two of your biggest goals for 2024?
One of my biggest goals is still my health. Granted, I'm 42 years old. I still feel like I'm 17. I still act like I'm 17. I think that's why I relate with the kids so well here. I still feel and act like it, and I don't ever want to stop training. I don't ever want to give up on myself. I'm sorry. What was the question again? I think
goals.
Oh, okay. Yes. So my goal has been to continue to get healthier. Not just physically, but mentally as well. And they very much intertwine. I obviously wasn't as healthy mentally when I was out of shape and going through issues and stuff. This year, I've learned that I can push myself harder than I thought I could, and I can get in better shape. I want to continue that. I want to get in even better shape. I want to get my second degree this year. I want to become the amazing martial artist that I always knew I could be, but gave up on myself when I was younger a little bit, and I'm ready to fulfill that this year.
What is your favorite leadership lesson from our KMMA Black Belt Leadership Program?
So there's two of them, and I think I always feel like they kind of intertwine. But becoming a lifelong learner, that has been something that I gave up on when I was a little younger. When I was in school, I worked hard at getting good grades. When I was in sports, I always worked really hard at outperforming and practicing more than anybody else. But when I got into my career, I learned everything that I felt like I needed for my job to be able to do my job. And that was it. I didn't work hard enough on, okay, now I know my job. Let's make it better. Let's make it better. Let's make it better. I focused more on just getting my job done. And I didn't focus more on perfecting my craft and to becoming just a better person every single day. Being a lifelong learner and then constant and never-ending improvement, it's been so important. And if you bring it right back to martial arts, like you'd like to do a lot, one of the things that I've realized is you can't, especially when it comes to our self-defense techniques, you can't ever stop. You can't ever stop learning. Just taking off for Christmas for a couple of weeks, I came back and I started thinking like, oh, maybe I wasn't as sharp on some of these techniques and stuff as I thought. It's so important to continue to get better at your craft, to continue to practice at it, and to continue to train at it, and just to stay sharp all of the time. Because the moment you stop, whether it's learning your job or the moment you stop moving, I feel like you just start deteriorating. And that's been so important to me, to continue to improve myself every single day, mentally and physically.
Awesome. And I'm going to two more, one that was on the list I gave you and one that's not. So the one, the last one really now is just anything else you'd like to say. But I'm going to just kind of add, because you really can talk to them in more than one capacity, right? Like this has been in your capacity as a student, as a father, your experiences of the journey on that side. But now you're actually part of Team KMMA. You're a sensei, you're the program director. If you wanted to say a little something to them in that direction, like you're talking, like you're talking to the potential future student, and had something to say to them that might encourage them to start their journey, or just anything like, is there anything else you would want to share like that?
Well, I would continue to say, don't give up on yourself, whether it's starting something new like this, whether you feel like you're not able or capable of it, whether you think you're too out of shape. Everybody has to start somewhere, and I encourage every single person to start. Also, when it comes to the kids as well, I've spoken with a lot of parents who have worried that maybe their kids, their ADHD is too much to be able to handle something like this. When in reality, we can make such an improvement on that aspect of their life. They feel like they can't join us because of that, when we feel like, come on in, we can help you with that. So I would encourage anybody to don't doubt yourself, whether it's you feel like you're out of shape or you can't do it, or you feel like maybe my kid is not going to be a great martial artist because he can't focus on things.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that we pride ourselves on working with the kids on. And just in the short amount of time that I've been here, I don't want to list the amount of students, but there's been so many students that I cannot believe have come in here and have seen such a drastic difference just in their focus, the respect, their confidence by far. 6-7 months have I been here?
6 months as professionally.
Yes.
Yeah.
In that little amount of time, I can't tell you the progress and the amount of kids that I've seen that have been. It's been.
Isn't it fun
amazing.
to be on that side?
It's amazing.
It's amazing to be on the side where you're getting all the benefits of the martial arts and specifically of our Black Belt Leadership Program.
And that's what makes me feel successful, is being able to help students realize that they're better than they give themselves credit for.
Yeah, because now you're on the other side. You're helping them. Yeah, that's it's the greatest. Okay, so audience has listened to you and been like, I mean, of course, most people listening to this are probably already our students, but for any that aren't and they want to get in touch with you so that they can get their 2-week free trial and orientation program and get started, how do you want them to do that?
My email address is senseijohn@tampacravmaga.com, or you can always call up to the school, or if you're at the school and you're not training yet, I'm always around. I'm always willing to talk to anybody. But I would love to especially say for the parents out there that if you do have kids that are training and you've always kind of wanted to train but felt like maybe you don't have the time or you're not in shape enough to do it, being able to train with my son has been one of the greatest gifts that I've ever been able to receive. And I would encourage every single person, every parent out there to train with their kids, because being able to watch your kids grow and to be able to help them through the process. And Madden has helped me through this process a lot. There were plenty of times where I didn't want to come to class and Madden was like, no, we're going. Come on. He helped me through so much of it. It's been such a great bonding experience that words can't even describe.
Love it. Anything else, Sensei John?
That is it. Again, I would encourage anybody, if you've always been wanting to train, definitely give me a call at the school, send me an email, or I would love.
You should give me a call. They don't know that number.
Oh. 813-948-4844. Again, my name is Sensei John, and I would love to speak with anybody. If you have any questions, any doubts, any concerns, I would love to sit down and talk to anybody about starting your journey at Krav Maga martial arts.
Well, again, I am proud of you. I'm grateful for you. It's awesome to have you on the team now, and excited for what's next. All right, KMMA Tribe, we're going to let you go for this time, and we hope to see you in the school real soon.
Yes, sir.